So let's say you're Grant and you're giving a demo and something goes wrong. And then immediately when you get home, you figure out what happened. But so let's go through just the debugging exercise and let's kind of learn from this. All right, so let's go ahead and start Temporal. So we're gonna have Temporal server start dev. Okay, so we're just reproducing the situation we were in. We'll split our screen twice. So we run Python worker.py. Looking good. And then we're going to use the CLI to start our workflow. So we're just going to grab this, paste it in the third. Okay, so what do we know here? And of course, in the moment, you can't figure it out, but you can look at it easily later. So here we've successfully started our workflow, right? But in our worker, we see no output, which means nothing is running. So something's a little bit wrong. Okay, so let's go check the UI. Wrong screen. Where's my UI? Right here. So let's look at our UI. Let's refresh. Okay, 404. This is not the workflow you were looking for, not found. So, okay, so I'm looking at a workflow, but that's not the one that exists. So I look up here in the URL bar. Of course, I've just previously been looking at this workflow, but now I have a different workflow ID. So I'm just going to delete this. Sure enough, now we're back to good health. All right, so here's the workflow ID. Well, first of all, before I get too far, that old workflow ID that I just deleted, the reason this one is different is because when I started from the command line, I don't pass in a workflow ID, but you totally can. And if I did, then that old URL would have worked. So in any case, you can pass in a workflow ID here if you want, but you don't need to. So now let's go into our active workflow ID. And then if we look here, no workers are running. There are no workers pulling the monthly charge task queue. Oh, well, that's the easy solution. So now we got to go look and see what's going on here, okay? Because when this says we have no workers pulling this task queue, but in our CLI command, we told it this task queue. So that means this task queue we said to run the workflow on and the one that our worker is actually pulling on are different. So this one looks fine to me. And what I typed in here, this looks fine to me. So let's go look in this worker. Uh-oh, we've got a typo here. This plus sign shouldn't be there. Okay, so let's go ahead and remove this plus sign and then we'll kill our worker and restart. Let's see what we got here. Boom, billing customer for month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4. It's working great, okay? So now we can look here. This is no longer true because our workflow is pulling. The error goes away. And we can see here, we've got 12 seconds, 11 seconds, and so on. Or those are the months we are billing for. And if we scroll down, look at all this. This is all that dead time in which nothing was happening. So this actually is a pretty good indicator that maybe your worker was down, which in our case, it wasn't down, but it just wasn't pulling on the right task queue. So from the workflow's perspective, it was down, okay? And so now let's come back over here. Let's kill our worker. So notice we've gotten to month 31. So we killed our worker. Oh no, everything's down. We come look over here. Our workflow is not progressing. We're still at month 31. So now let's come back and let's just start our worker back up. Boom, it picks back up from 32, 33, 34. And so this is the durable execution right here, is that when it fails, when you restart it, it picks back up where it left off. Cool. So yeah, thanks a lot for listening, and I hope this may help you debug your temporal application. So thanks.